Hello there, Souls fans. Welcome back to the Bonfire. This is Mike, and in today's video I will be going over some info and details about the final installment to the Three Crowns DLC for Dark Souls 2 entitled The Crown of the Ivory King. I will give you some official news here at the beginning. Very little though. Possible entrance, details on where it might be and where it might take place, and basically give you guys my own personal opinions and speculation on some enemies we might encounter, possible bosses. So if you're into that type of thing, speculation and opinion-based type videos, go ahead and stick around and enjoy the video. As of the recording of this video is officially September 16th, officially 1 week away from the final installment of the DLC for Dark Souls 2. I've scoured the internet looking for any images, info, videos of any kind, trying to get some sort of speculation going on about this Dark Souls 2 Crown of the Ivory King. I cannot find any with any luck, and the only thing I really found was this template, talking about new trials and sub-freezing world of snow and ice. That's really stuff we already knew. We knew it was going to be someplace cold, someplace very snowy. It'll be the first place in Dark Souls 2 that has a snowy backdrop, much like the painted world of Ariamis from Dark Souls 1. The only thing really left to speculate on it now is where it might take place, as in past or future, and how we might get there. Now, with the two previous DLCs, the Sunken King and the Old Iron King, patches were released 1 to 2 days beforehand that essentially gave you access to them. Basically expanded on 2 Primal Bonfire locations, one being in the Black Gulch, which gave you access to the Sunken King DLC, and one in Ijo's Idol, which was located in the Old Iron Keep, which gave you access to the Old Iron King DLC. I do have one very likely location that will probably be the location where we're warped to the Old Ivory King, but I do want to throw 2 other locations that are possible contenders out there. I'll list them off from least likely to most likely. So here we go. So with 2 Primal Bonfires used in the 2 previous DLCs, it is reasonable to suspect that they'll use another one in the next DLC. There are only 2 other locations for those. One, being the most least likely, would probably be Seldora Cove, or the Cove of Seldora, or Brightstone Cove Seldora, something like that. Many people believe that this is essentially the future of what happens to the Duke's Archives, aka the Crystal Caves back in Dark Souls 1, simply because of the crystals that are sticking out of the ground, and all the books and the libraries that you encounter. The reason I don't think this will be the location, though, is because a lot of stuff already happens in that Primal Bonfire room already, such as you already encounter Vengarl's body, and you have to fight that, plus you encounter the dead one, Seldora, you get his key off of him. So I really don't think they're going to use that location again to add on to it, but it could happen, not sure. Let's move on to the next one. Now, the next possible location could possibly be a location called Sinner's Rise, and it's an area that branches off to Lost Bastille, and it holds one of the Lord bosses known as the Lost Sinner. After you beat the Lost Sinner in his boss fight, or her boss fight, I'm sorry, there really isn't nothing else. Just a Primal Bonfire, you get warped back to Majula, which was previously how the Black Gulch and as Ijo's Idol was as well, but they added on content to it. So it is suspect to believe that they could potentially add an area or a room to this area as well. And you could warp to a new DLC, if they decide to add more on after this one. The reason I don't think it'll belong to this one is simply because of the snow and ice factor, which goes more hand in hand with the next possible location that I'm going to reveal to you here in a few minutes. But other than that, there really isn't much lore within the arena, other than it looks like a couple markings up on the wall in the arena. I don't have the bonfires, the little fires lit, so you can see the room better. I apologize for that, but I think it's in Dave Control Live's video that he shows it. There's like some weird markings or some symbols on the wall that could potentially be some sort of lore related stuff, but who really knows. On to the next one real quick. And the last and most likely possible location for the DLC comes after you acquire all 4 Lord Souls in the base game of Dark Souls 2, which gives you access to the Shrine of Winter. Winter representing the season of cold, ice, snow. So if you're not already convinced right there by the name, it also has one of these serpent statues, which in the base game of Dark Souls 2 there really wasn't anything like that. After the DLC came out, these statues are actually added to the game and transport you to the DLC. Along with this statue, there's also these things on the wall. It seems like people are either worshipping or possibly a king sending troops out to do something. There's also 2 different pictures of dragons. It could be the same dragon. Could be 2 completely different dragons. Maybe an evil dragon and a good dragon. Maybe somebody who got turned into a dragon. Whatever the case may be, it seems highly likely that this 3rd DLC will revolve around King Vendrick, if possible his brother Aldea, maybe before he even turned into a dragon. Since that's speculation right there. People believe that the ancient dragon at the end of Dark Souls 2 actually is Lord Aldea after he accomplished what he set out to do, which is to become a dragon. Or to create one, that is. I don't have all the answers. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but it is very, very interesting. Will they add stuff onto the Shrine of Winter? Probably not. They could. Nonetheless, they will still need to give you an item to access the statue if they are going to do so. So we'll have to wait and see. For this next part, I sort of want to break off into a little bit of armor speculation and what it could have potentially mean for the 3rd DLC. In Dark Souls 2, they had a lot of throwback armors, one of which was the Elite Armor set, which belonged to Oscar of Astora. That name came from the god of Dark Souls. Was pretty much the first NPC you'll meet in Dark Souls. He gives you your Estus Flask and then dies shortly thereafter. It's a pretty cool armor set. I like the improvements that they made. Moving on, you have the Dark Wraith armor, which you were given in Dark Souls 1 for joining the Dark Wraith Covenant, and slowly upgrading inside that Covenant. Dark Souls 2, you get the armor through mimic chests that you encounter throughout the game. By defeating them, they slowly drop each piece of armor. After that, we have the steel armor, which is hidden in the memory of one of the last giants. I can't remember which one it was, but it's behind a hidden wall. It happens to be one of my favorite armor sets, and I believe it's the Benedict Knights I think they belong to. Nonetheless, let's move on. Next up is Havel's armor, which if you've had any PvP experience at all, you've probably seen this armor. It was defensive as hell in Dark Souls 1. It's still defensive as hell in Dark Souls 2. A lot of people use it. It's probably never going to go away. The last throwback armor that I found particularly interesting, there are other starter sets that are in the game, but this one was the one that I found particularly interesting, is the Katarina armor, and the way that you obtain it. Now, the way that you encounter this Red Phantom is only in Soldier's Rest Bonfire. The only way you can do that is either on New Game Plus, or if you use a bonfire aesthetic. The reason you would want to take on this Phantom is because each time that you defeat him, he has a chance of dropping some of the Katarina armor. It's really unlike any other Red Phantom in the game that sprouts old gear. He's the only one that sprouts old gear like that. There is no Oscar one that I've encountered, or any steel armor or anything like that I've encountered. There is a Havel Phantom that appears in the Dark Chasm, but I still think that's different from this one. Going back to the bonfire name, it's called Soldier's Rest. I'm not sure if they're just talking about the Katarina Knight that's on top of the cliff there, or they could be talking about the giant or the knights that inhabit that area. Nonetheless, I still find it very, very interesting. And how it ties into the other DLCs, I'll get to that right now. Now, the 2 previous DLCs, the Sunken King and the Old Iron King, you will find these chests, and within the chests you'll find pieces of the Katarina armor. I believe in the Sunken King you'll get the leggings and the helm. I think in the Old Iron King you'll get the leggings, and it's suspect to believe in the 3rd DLC you'll get the final torso piece. Now, there's a couple reasons they may have done this. One, it's kind of a bitch to get the Katarina armor to begin with. Maybe they just wanted to make it more accessible. You know, not everybody knows about the Red Phantom Zigmire, or Katarina Knight, whatever you want to call him, appearing, and that he drops his armor set. I get PMs all the time when I play online. If people see me wearing the armor, they'll ask me how I got it in the first place. So that's one example. They could just have made it more accessible so that a lot more people can obtain it, since it's not found like normally in a chest if somebody has to drop it. Or it could be something else entirely. This is highly speculation, completely out of left field, solely opinion-based, but a lot of people have speculated. It's been on a couple Reddit forums and a couple Facebook forums, and a lot of people suspect that the 3rd DLC could potentially take place in a future representation, if not the entire continent, possibly a small portion of Katarina. Now, it remains to be seen if that'll actually happen. Could happen. I would like it to happen. I think it would be fucking awesome. Potentially see or fight some of the Katarina Knights. Maybe they've gone hollow. The entire country's gone hollow. That'd be fucking awesome, but I don't know. That's completely speculation. We'll see what happens. And lastly, what you can expect from the DLC is probably a different yet familiar area to the game. 3 bosses, 2 of which are unique and different, and a 3rd is what they call an optional co-op boss, which is meant to be taken with friends. For the first, that Sunken King DLC, the co-op boss was kind of cheap, but it was okay. The second one I didn't really like at all, the rehash of the Smelter Demon, just with a different color code. I thought was kind of a cop-out, so by now the content's already made. I hope they don't stay in that same mode where they sort of do a cop-out for the third DLC. I really hope it's something unique and different that we haven't seen before. But nonetheless, I'm still excited. I'm looking forward to next week, and I'm looking forward to playing it. Anyway, I hope you guys have found this video insightful. I hope you guys enjoyed my opinions and speculation and theories. I hope you guys will leave your own in the comments. If you liked this video, go ahead and feel free to leave a like. And there's more videos on the way. And this is Mike, signing out.